Hello, City Line Bible Church. Welcome to our midweek devotional. This past weekend, Pastor Mo delivered a powerful concluding lesson to our series, God's Providence, Our Provision. It capped off our study in the book of Genesis, chapters 37 through 50. During these past several weeks, we were led through a beautifully detailed examination of the life of Joseph and his unfailing faith in God. We landed the series in chapter 50, and the lesson was entitled, When God Works It All for Good. The supportive text for the message was taken from Romans 8:28, a well-known passage. It reads, For those who love the Lord, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Pastor Mo pointed out that the book of Genesis can be seen as an Old Testament application of this verse, Romans 8:28. And we can also see it very clearly in how God delivered Joseph from pits of pain to places of prominence. We learned that God's sovereignty is his right to rule and reign as he sees fit, and that God's providence is the way that God moves in, around, and through our lives. Today, we're going to recap Pastor Mo's lesson by touching briefly on the 5 points that he presented. We'd also would like to remind you at this time that the entire series is available for you to view on our City Line Bible Church YouTube page. There you'll also find other past lessons. So please feel free to take positive advantage of those resources at your leisure. Okay? So let's continue with our recap. Point 1. He sustains me even when I'm in a pit. Now, the scriptural reference for this first point is Psalms 139:7 and following, and it reads like this. Where should I go from your spirit? Oh, where should I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost part of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me and your right hand shall hold me. Oh, in that same way, God never left Joseph, nor will God ever leave us. God sustains us. Point 2. He strengthens me even when I am wrongfully accused. And point 3, he uses me while I wait for vindication. Now, for this point, Pastor Mo gave us 5 ways that we can honor God during our waiting. Those 5 ways are follows. 1, I am not a victim. 2, I will work hard. 3, I will maintain my integrity. 4, I will use my gift. And 5, I will not get even. Wow, there is such wisdom there. And as Pastor Mo said this past weekend, the list of how we can honor God in our waiting could be much, much longer. Okay, so we're going to take a look now at our 2 remaining points. Point number 4, he removes my fear of condemnation even though I am guilty. And then our final point today is number 5. He providentially works for his purpose even when evil abounds. Now, this 5th point can be exceedingly difficult for us as believers to live out because we sometimes turn our trials into stumbling stones and not into opportunities to draw nearer to God. Just like Joseph, we need to maintain a tender heart for God. A wonderful illustration of Joseph's tender heart is seen in Genesis chapter 50, verses 19 and 20. Many of us have found comfort in this passage. I know for a fact that I have. It reads like this. But Joseph said to them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God? As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. What a blessing it is to know that God is only good. It is his divine nature. We've been taught that God's providence and sovereignty is on display throughout the book of Genesis. The very presence of God is evident in the promise of salvation for the children of Israel through the prophetic declaration of the coming Christ. City Line, we can rejoice in this truth every single day of our lives. We serve a risen Savior who is incapable of being anything other than perfectly good. A God who loves us unconditionally and sent his only begotten Son to suffer and die on a cross so that we might receive the gift of everlasting life. That is good news. Thank you for joining us in our midweek devotional. We look forward to worshiping with you again this weekend. Please be well. Stay safe. We love you. God bless you. Grace and peace.